It's me, Nimso. Welcome back to another video. Today we are back in the just messing around again today, right? And I wanted to talk about the project that I was talking about. That whole phrase just didn't sound very well, did it? Alright, okay, well, wonderful. Anyways, so I mentioned in the last video that I was putting all of my older projects together into something much of a collection, and I wanted to showcase two. Wow, what's going on with my head? Ooh, a little bit of bad lighting today for camera tracking, but there we go. I wanted to showcase the first one, which is something that you've already seen. In fact, you've already played, but you haven't had a chance to actually play around with the older worlds that were in there, and that's Tubby Super Cat. Let's zoom in. Tubby Super Cat. There we go. Let's do that again. Tubby Super Cat. Right. Yeah. So a long while ago, well, the start of this channel, Tubby Super Cat was the first project, the first thing I ever showed off on the channel. That video is actually done pretty well, which is surprising, considering every other video didn't do as well. But well, a select few. But after the first one, where I was just sort of messing around in a replica of Peach Castle, as I normally mess around with, in the second video I made of the Tubby Super Cat project, there was a world that was actually quite a nice design. With the Tubby house, it was the first time that there was a Tubby house, and that world never showed up in the demo. In fact, the demo had a completely custom built world just specifically for the demo. So let's have a look at that world. What I've done is I've recreated it for this project. I didn't need to. I do have the original project actually. Not the original project in terms of gameplay mechanics. That's actually the current one that Tubby actually is playing in. The one that you saw in the demo is similar to that. It's not the original because obviously that was in a different Unity version, but this one is similar to that. So I'm using the regular Tubby demo mechanics, which you can play on the itch.io page right now, and that's part of the collection, which I'm calling the Nimso Studios History Collection. Woo! Yeah. So the History Collection will contain a bunch of my games demos, everything that I put on the videos on the channel. You'll actually finally get to try them out. So it's something that if I didn't do this, a lot of that stuff would just remain as videos forever, and no one will ever get to try them out and see how things have changed over time as well. Because when you play the final versions that I put out of any of this stuff, and some of them will probably never reach that point, they will be very polished experiences, very polished games. But what I have on the channel is not the same thing, right? These are going to be early builds of these games. Some of them won't be changed very much, like the tiny open world. I'm not going to change it very much. I want you to actually experience how it used to be, how these older projects used to be, and how much cleaner and better the code and gameplay mechanics have become over time as a result. I don't have the original Tubby project, so while I do have the landmass, I wanted to recreate that just for visual beauty. And I also recreated, well, I didn't recreate, but I used the demo's mechanics instead of the original game, which had the double jump and all of that. So let's jump straight in to the Tubby build. Right, here we go. We'll switch quickly over to the green screen mode, and we'll have to run the game and pop up. Yay! There we go. So we are in the old what am I saying? The old Tubby world. We should be able to hear it now. Can we hear it? Can we hear it? Yes, we can hear it. Right, okay. Mouse off screen, and there we go. We've got the old Tubby my words are really messy today. Tubby world. I've added a little change to the game mechanics. Well, not really the mechanics, but I've added a little UI change, which is up here on the. Hold on, let's see what I'm seeing. Up, up. Ooh, camera up here. Up here. There we go. And that's in the UI there. You can actually see the star count, which is part of this little demo. I'm not going to show you what happens when you collect all of the little tubby treats in this world, but I will probably add something that happens when you pick up all the treats. But there we go. Yeah, this is the original Tubby build, the original world as it was. Well, not as it was, nowhere near as it was. But hey presto, look at that. It's looking really beautiful actually now. But you can see that the cat house is as it was, although I changed the textures very slightly because some of those were not custom made. They were not my textures. But there we go. Yeah, this is the original house. And this is the original land mass. But I have changed it slightly to make it look much nicer. And you can see this is now in the new version of the Tubby. It's really nice. This is the original place that you can see. In fact, I might show the video now, just the old video, just for a moment, just so that you can see how much it has changed from what it is now to how it used to be actually. But from what it used to be to how it is now. So there we go. This is not the same character mechanics as they were in that video. This is from the demo that I put out, and you can see here the gloops are here as well. There we go. And yeah, so you can just kind of go around and check out the place. The signboards still work as they did in the demo. So if you stop, then they just kind of show up there. The camera zooms towards them. The enemies have exactly the same mechanics as the demo. They don't hurt you at all. There we go. And in fact, if I pause the game, you can see that we are in the history collection. There we go. This is the menu. This is the pause menu. It's really nice. It's just a little collection. Well, it's not a little collection. It's going to contain a lot of these projects, and a bunch of them are already ready to be shown. I'll probably show them once a week or so. And yeah, there we go. It's a nice little. You can just restart the whole level. Here we go. You can click that, restart the level, and return straight back to this. It does restart the actual level, so be aware that will reset the coin count, the Tubby treat count. I can't go into the house. I have kind of removed that. I just didn't recreate that. I might add the little interior area back again. There's nothing to it. In fact, there's no kind of objective here other than collect all the little Tubby treats. But beyond that, it's fun to just play around. Again, like I said, the visuals as well are from the demo. A few maybe small tweaks, and that's about it. But you can see here the visuals, the actually little dotty effect that I got when you grab onto a tree, so that you can actually see inside the tree. And just the signboards recreated, not entirely as they were, but some added as well. There we go. And you can control the character as you did in the demo. There we go. He's got all the sliding mechanics and everything as well, exactly as it was. It's wonderful. But yeah, you can have a look around all of this. I've added the bounce blocks into the world just for the fun of it, and just so that you can actually move around. So there's actually a few problems with this in comparison to the original version of the game, where I was actually going around this world. The character had a lot more jumping height in him. Tubby had a lot more height on his jumps in the old version. So actually jumping here, especially the backflip, I mean that's a little bit short actually. I probably could have expanded on that. I might actually do that, just increase it. This is not the version of Tubby that will be visible in the end anyway. This is not as it is now. The new version, obviously, you can see from all of the videos that I did more recently on Tubby a few months back, and those are way better than the mechanics in here. You can see his actual character model is not as smoothly built as well. You can see on his little feet that his feet are a little bit too smoothed out here. You can see that. Yeah, the current version of Tubby is much more properly shaped. I recreated the body shape of him as well. I recreated the Tubby. So there we go. You can swim, of course, and yeah, there we go. I added the waterfall back in, although it looks nicer in the other world. It's very much the same. The poles do not have the little standing mechanic that I had in the original game, in the original build. Again, like I said, those mechanics are sort of lost to time. They're on a hard drive in this computer actually. It's not connected because it's a mechanical drive, and there's a very high possibility that every single thing on there is corrupted, or at least will become corrupted as soon as it powers up. So I'm just not going to risk it for now. I'm probably going to do I'll take the diagnostic route, see if I can pull anything off that drive. But unfortunately, that does mean some of the things on my channel are also lost to time and cannot make it into the project. But some of them are really easy to recreate, and I will do that as well. So some of them have already been recreated, and they look great. There'll be more of the projects that are just very small, very unique. There will be desktop projects and VR projects in this build. It was actually a worry when it came to the Unity stuff that was going on recently. Well, that jump didn't work very well. The Unity stuff, because this is not being built all in one project, right? It would be a bad idea to build all of these games and mechanics and different games. These are all completely different projects into... Why is he looking that way? Oh, the sign is the sign has a very large radius to it, so he's kind of looking at the sign from quite a distance. He should be looking at the tree like that. There we go. Very nice. You can actually get these guys to follow you into the water right now. They don't work. I'm probably gonna make them just poof out of existence when this happens. But right now they just fall into the water and bounce around. They are physics objects, so there we go. But there we go. Yeah, you can actually run around. You can see the old turtle houses here. Of course, I retextured them. This is a nice little area here. There we go. I retextured them. They look a little nicer now. I've got a little bit of color going on as well. You'll notice that the system is going a little bit slow with these videos. I need to work on some of my settings. You can see here actually, and it mentions it on this signboard here. Jumps in the current version of Tubby, the one that you're playing here, not the actual current version. The current version now is way better than this. But jumps in this version are not as high, and collision detection has changed significantly. So getting onto this rock is much more difficult. In the original version of Tubby, his backflips were much higher, and oh, I managed it. I managed it. But really, if you try and do this here, you can see he immediately just kind of goes into a slippy mode. So I just added the little bounce block here behind, just so that you can get up here, and there we go. Getting onto these things as well, same problem, right? So you kind of go into a slide mode. So what you do then is you just kind of just long jump, because Tubby has that little bouncy long jump, right? This is that version of Tubby where he has that bouncy long jump. Boink. And there we go, right? So yeah, so this is you can just explore this little world. It's an exact replica. It's built directly onto the old project of the Tubby Cat. The original video, this isn't, well, it's not the first video, it's the second video that I made of this game, you know, 9 years ago, God knows how long. But there we go. It's something you can explore, and if you collect all of these all of the Tubby treats, maybe something will happen. I haven't entirely decided on what will happen yet, but I'll be adding to this project. Right now, this is what I wanted to showcase for now. But there we go. It's wonderful, right? It's nice to just get a chance to actually put out all of the things that won't have a chance of ever kind of being showcased the way that I got to play them and showcase them on the videos. Otherwise you would never get to try a bunch of those, even though the games themselves will eventually become full games. So Tubby Supercat, very, very important project. Obviously he's my mascot as well. He's a very important character to the Nimso Studios brand, right? And I don't want it to be left behind when there's so much content on my channel that a lot of people will have a chance to actually try out, play around with it, and see just how far things have gone and how they became the way they are now. But there we go. We've had a look at the Tubby Supercat world right now. That's only one of the levels. Obviously, I've recreated or brought in some of the other changed levels as well. There was a bunch of different worlds that you've seen on the channel from the Tubby Supercat projects, and they'll all be here. They'll all be available in this build. There'll be more projects being shown off before this goes out to everyone to be able to play. So there we go. Thanks very much for watching. Look forward to the next one, where I'll show you another project and another build that goes straight into the history collection, and you can play that from that when that releases. Thanks very much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.